Here, where it's burned, that's Dad's work vehicle and our car. And here he was murdered.
Only after 86 days were we told he was murdered while still in the kibbutz, and that his body was kidnapped.
He was declared missing until then.
This is the first time they're ready to share what the Weiss family went through on that terrible morning of October 7th. What happened to their father Ilan, who was part of the local emergency team and went to open the armory in Kibbutz Be'eri and disappeared. It was only after 18-year-old Noga and her mother Shiri returned from their captivity that they understood what happened to him.
They literally turned every stone upside down and found a bone. Based on that bone, they declared him dead. In fact, they also found a video
of his kidnapping.
From the kibbutz cameras or from the terrorists' cameras?
No, from cameras in Gaza. We know for sure that he was murdered here in the kibbutz and that his body was kidnapped. It's right here. This is the shelter. I don't know what they did in here. Everything is burnt.
Now, 5 months after Noga and her mother Shiri were released, the family is ready to talk about how they were kidnapped from the shelter in their home, how Noga and Shiri were separated in fear of death, and how Meital and Mayan, the older sisters who were in a different neighborhood of the kibbutz, tried to help their little sister who found herself alone in front of dozens of Hamas terrorists.
They started shooting at the door, something like 40 shots, until they managed to get in. We were also reading all the WhatsApp conversations in all the groups of the kibbutz to understand what was happening. People wrote, "The house is burning, we are inside the house," and stopped answering. So my mother told me, the second they come in, get under the bed, because she thought they would enter the protected room and shoot her straight away, shoot everyone they see. So I went under the bed. They broke in and kidnapped her. I saw everything because I was here, and after they took her out, I heard gunshots. So I was sure that she was murdered, that she wasn't kidnapped.
From our mother's side, I can say that she was taken out. She saw all the houses on fire. Noga thought Mom was shot, and Mom thought she left Noga to burn.
The fire that the terrorists set in the house spread quickly. Noga realized that if she stayed under the bed, she would burn. But outside, the kibbutz was infested with terrorists, and there was nowhere to run. So you ran all this distance?
Yes, I was running while trying to hide from all the terrorists who were here. There were a lot. They were running around, riding bicycles that they stole from houses here. I was trying to find anything that could hide me that didn't catch on fire, and I just walked in here.
Did you sit right here?
Yes, until after 10 minutes, I saw one of the terrorists coming down from those stairs toward me.
Here she sent us this message. A terrorist sees me and approaches me. This was her last message.
He sat with me here, and around me, some 40 to 50 terrorists were standing in a circle, all with Kalashnikovs aimed at me. My hands were handcuffed behind my back.
And you were alone?
Alone, and I saw next to me the bodies of people I knew from the kibbutz. And after a few minutes, they put me in a car. They drove through the fence to Gaza. Lots, thousands of small children passing by, clapping their hands and telling them good job, and putting their hands through broken windows to pull my hair or hit me.
What did you think of at that moment?
Nothing. I didn't understand why they were delaying shooting me.
Noga was taken to one of the houses of Hamas terrorists, where they tried to interrogate her about her family. Later in the day, she was transferred to another house, where she found Moran Stella Yanai, who was kidnapped from the party in Reim. And they were kept together in a small room, and every few days they were moved to another house.
The second night, I slept facing a window. I woke up because there was a bomb strike, and the building next to us fell, so the window shattered on me. So just a while ago, I took out a glass shard from my body that I had all this time.
And when they moved you from house to house, how were you transferred?
At night, with a hijab, Hamasniks held our hands so that people thought we were married, so that there was nothing suspicious.
2 weeks later, they moved to a new home. That day, there was something different in the behavior of the captors.
They brought us food and brought more food than usual, and it was strange. And suddenly, a woman dressed up in Arab clothes entered in the evening. It took me a few seconds, and I looked at her and realized that it was my mom. It took us a while to recognize each other because I didn't think she was alive, and she didn't think I was alive. So it wasn't like a situation we even imagined. It was crazy because I thought I was left alone. Suddenly she's alive, and I'm not alone.
Very soon, the joy and relief that both were alive were replaced by fear. The main captor in the house told them that he didn't bring Shiri from the house where she was kept alone for no reason.
One of the Hamasniks said that he loved me, that he wanted to marry me, and that he brought my mother to me so that she would approve of us getting married. He said he was the one who insisted that they unite us so that she would give him the approval. He actually brought a ring and said to me, "Everyone will be released. Everyone will return home and you will stay in Gaza because you will marry me and have my children." Then he asked her, "Do you allow me to do that?"
How did you react?
I tried to fake laughter so that we wouldn't get shot in the head. He brought a ring on the 14th day. I stayed with him until the 50th day, and he kept repeating, "Everyone will be released. Everyone will return home and you won't, because you will stay here to live with me and raise my children."
After 50 days in hell, Shiri's and Noga's names appeared on the list.
Noga Weiss ve'ima Shiri Weiss.
The night before, they met for the first time in Gaza the members of Kibbutz Be'eri, who were released together with them, and began to understand the scale of the disaster in the kibbutz, without knowing what happened to the rest of the family.
Suddenly, the soldiers told us, "We're going to the hospital now, and there you will meet Meital, Mayan, and Tamar, our grandmother." And suddenly, realizing that they were okay was a crazy relief.
We just hugged and cried until we were able to talk. Then you have to start telling them what happened in the kibbutz, what happened in the family. Our uncle in the emergency room was killed. His son was also murdered.
As long as there are hostages there, I can't begin to mourn even my father and my uncles and my friends, because I think about the hostages. I no longer know what they are going through, because they are there for an amount of time that I can't even imagine. At one point, they brought us half a liter of water for 2 days, and you can't really survive like that for 200 days. It's not possible.
Are you thinking of moving back to Be'eri?
Yes.
Probably not.
Yes, and probably not. Why is that?
I don't know. On one hand, it's my home. It's like the place where I should feel the safest. And on the other hand, I don't know if it's possible.
Don't you feel anger towards the army?
There is anger, but mostly distrust.
Trust needs to be restored.
Yes, also we need to somehow return to routine, to a normal life. It happened. It can't be changed. So let's end it as best as possible by bringing back all the hostages and then mourning everyone we love who is no longer with us.